Have you ever wanted to know what a fantasy slice of life about hunting dragons to get some income is like? Well, I might have the book for you. Mika is a draker on the airship Quinzaza. He earns his livelihood hunting the whales of the sky, dragons. The beautiful beasts are flying treasure troves, providing food and materials, and the Quinzaza is among the last draking vessels. Mika's not just a talented hunter, he also is a gourmandon, with a refined palate and taste for the exotic. Between his duties aboard the ship, his ambitions as an eater, and his new job training the rookie dragon hunter, Takeda, Mika's days are never boring. But even with a lively crew of the Quinzaza as his family, the nomadic life of a drake can be lonely and dangerous. So before I even start doing this manga review, I just want to say, I ended up finding this manga at one of those free libraries that a lot of places have. I honestly was not expecting much of this, but it ended up catching my eye because of the cover art and how unique it is. I don't really see art done like this nowadays. It's usually all the same in the aspect of it's like the front of Spy X Family or one of those shonen titles you can just think of that are very popular now. It's all kind of like that art style where it's the characters in a bland background or something of that nature. But this caught my eye with how the art is different. It stands out. It's very beautiful. So the story starts off with this flying ship pulling in this enormous creature. You see our main character, Mika, jumping off this ship that is called the Quizaza, as we, read on the back. But you see him jumping off of this giant beast that is a dragon. Dragons are just commonplace in this world. Well, as you heard me saying it before, dragons are where a source of food, materials, and stuff of that nature come from. And you have these ships going around and they're capturing these monsters, killing them, and grabbing them for the materials. So it starts off with our main ship dragging off this dragon off to this village in the middle of nowhere. And you soon learn that everyone in the crew has a different personality, how they all look up to Mika, how they all handle different situations. Well, once they get to this village and start selling stuff off, they try to get, a place to sleep for the night because, they haven't been land in such a long time. Well, you find out that this profession known as, draking is not a very looked upon profession. While it's needed, back when it first started, it was mostly just criminals doing it. So everyone looks down upon the crews that go and do this thing that everyone kind of needs and uses, but they don't give them any respect. While they're sitting there dealing with the situation at hand, trying to figure out what they're going to do, dealing with the locals that don't really respect them, one of the locals come up to him and said, "Hey, I need your help. I need you to go to the next town over. It's under attack by this dragon," which they don't understand why. Dragon attacks are very rare, especially just on random villages on land. So after convincing the townsfolk to let them stay the night at a tavern and some other things, they go off to this next town over. As they get there to try and save the town's villagers, so once they get to this other town, they realize that the dragon that's attacking was actually the mother of the dragon you see them first kill and harvest the materials from. So after they have a battle with this dragon on their ship with guns, with different harpoons, into which you see our main character, Mika, jump over and put the final blow into this dragon. You see them at this tavern later on enjoying, sharing stories, chatting with the locals, and being able to just sit back and relax after two hard-fought battles back to back. And then that's where you see that there's actual corroboree and a bunch of family ties between the party that is the dragon ship. And throughout the rest of the first volume, you see different, hijinks or more so adventures take place. You see them deal with a small baby dragon get on the ship, to which, it turns into a big scenario where everyone's hunting down this little dragon. Then you found out it's worth $1 billion because there was some rich ship flying by that it got out of the cage of that they were going to offer up to a king as a gift. Then you see them fight pirates and you see how they handle person-to-person combat, their tactics on the ship as a whole, and how Mika handles the situation. You also see them trying to figure out how to navigate through this very deadly storm that they thought they were honestly going to die from. But one of the crewmates, they ended up telling the story before all this happened about a dragon of shining light guiding ships through these horrible and dangerous storms, to which that actually ends up happening to them, and they let that dragon go because the dragon's actually saving people and keeping them alive, with all the lightning and stuff allowing them to guide through and follow behind it. So throughout this manga, this first volumes per se, you see how the crew interacts with each other. You see that everyone has their own personality. You see faces, you see different body types and everything. They make sure to make characters stand out, especially the ones that are going to be very reoccurring. But more so, you are going to see this crew a lot, so these crews have very memorable personalities. And as you see beside me, there's a list of like names and everything, from the different departments that are in there to who handles what, from how they do night shift and like handle different ships and everything. It's actually very interesting and very well done for volume 1 of the manga. And yes, I know that this has a anime on Netflix, and this came out in like 2020, and it's old. I never knew this existed. This is the first time I came across this, and I am very pleased by this manga. Like, I'm genuinely very shocked and very happy with how this came across. Like I said about the art cover, the art throughout this whole manga is very nice. It's refreshing to me, especially compared to the Sea of Shonen and different like other manga that are coming out right now. For something being as, yeah, I won't say really old, but it's kind of older, from being like from 2020 to 2022 era. This was really nice. I really like the medieval dragon kind of like darker like art style that is on this manga, and it's not taking away from anything. If anything, it's adding to what's going on, especially when they're on the ship, on these different dragons fighting, when they're dealing with townspeople, when they're dealing with the pirates, hell, even dealing with each other. This adds on to it, and I genuinely enjoy this. Like, this manga just, it caught me by surprise. And I love how guns are not really commonplace. It's harpoons, it's this, it's that. It's different technology. While yes, there might be some guns used by the pirates and everything, you don't see everyone having guns, which there might be some lore behind it on why the guns were taken away and people really don't use guns. It's more knives, swords, harpoons. And yes, there are some guns, there are cannons, there are stuff like that, but it's not, they don't use that. They use it from mainly person to person, but not on dragons. When it comes to dragons, they use swords, they use harpoons, electrified guns. It's very subtle details like that I really, really like, and this manga hit it. So I really do think you should try and pick this up. It's definitely available on, you know, the internet. You can find it anywhere. And I'm gonna definitely try and look into the manga, or not the manga, the anime that's over on Netflix. And I'm gonna try and see if I can pick up, you know, some of the manga itself. Because between the character building, the memorable personalities they give to the characters, the art style, the world around it, the very decent world building that is right off the bat, between how the dragons interact with the people, how they are an important resource, but, you know, there's also this history behind the dragon people. It's very nice and very interesting, and it's very refreshing to me. So let me know what you guys think. Like I said, I'm going to pick up some more of this, and this is going to be thrown into the pile of the never-ending manga that I keep on reading. So let me know what y'all think. I love you all, I appreciate you all, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye!